Welcome back, guys. So, instead of watching Project Hail Mary, I was drugged into Lee Cronin's The Mummy. Bro, why can't I just watch the movie about Ryan Gosling and a rock? So the only thing the original 1932 movie and this 2026 movie have in common is the name and a tomb. That's really about it. So what is this movie about? Basically, it's about a young girl who goes missing in Egypt. After being missing for 8 years, the girl is discovered in a 3,000-year-old sarcophagus, and she brings an ancient evil back to her family. So now that you know that, let's get into the positives of 2026's Lee Cronin's The Mummy. Positives: the gore, the body horror, the carnage. Candy was great and super violent. The toenail scene will be talked about most likely. It is maybe equivalent to the scalping scene in Evil Dead Rise. And also, you'll hear me compare Evil Dead Rise a lot in this review because these movies are very similar and they were also made by the same dude. Honestly, I don't know why they didn't just call it Evil Dead Rise, The Mummy, or something, but it's like, whatever. Luckily, the performance hinges on the child lead because she does very well. Natalie Grace, who plays Katie, does well with her performance, and the makeup too. And oh my god, the makeup department went wild in this movie. The design of Katie is great and really freaky. Love the look, and the weird space eyes, great. And you know what? The other cast members did just as good. I don't really know any of these guys outside of this movie, except for Jack Renner, who I know from Transformers Age of Extinction because he dropped that dope as hell line.
I just called the cops on you because this is illegal. She's a minor.
We're protected by the Romeo and Juliet laws.
We dated for a little while. I was a sophomore and he was a senior. It's fine.
No, it's not fine.
We've got a pre-existing juvenile foundational relationship. Statute 2705-3.
What?
He was also in Midsummer, which I don't really like at all. There's too many Johnsons on screen, including his, and frankly, I don't want to see all that. Anyway, the Morse code scene was actually pretty cool too. I like that. It was in the beginning of the movie, and it was also paid off later when she was trying to communicate with him, so I like that. It's also not a mummy movie. It's an Evil Dead Rise movie, but in Egypt. There are so many parallels between The Mummy and Evil Dead Rise. Obviously, as I said before, it was made by the same guy. And there's just so many parallels. You have the audio tape playing, which sounds almost identical to how it did in Evil Dead Rise. You have the book pages flying back, an evil force possessing the family, the religious character that gets killed off, and a whole lot more. That's why I find it frustrating to me a little bit. It's kind of a carbon copy of Evil Dead Rise, but with mummies and stuff. Also, I liked all 3 acts in the movie, which is rare for me to say because usually most movies have a terrible final act. I'm looking at you, Scream 7.
Fallbrook. That's where we met.
Okay, I'm talking, so don't interrupt me, okay? Great.
Shut your fucking mouth!
Well, actually, it kind of does drag on a little bit towards the end. And the last positive I'll say is the coyote kill was great. Probably my favorite kill in the movie. There's, I think, only 4 kills in the movie, which it's more about telling a story than a high body count. And oh boy, do they tell a story, a whole 2-hour-long story. Negatives, it is like 30 minutes too long. It kind of kept dragging off towards the end. I was like, wow, that was actually a pretty good ending. And then it would keep going. I'm like, oh, okay, well, this is most certainly be a great spot to end it, right? No, it kept going on again. I was like, okay, this has got to be the last scene. And it kept going on. It dragged on for so long. It was super unnecessary. Also, another thing I did not like was the mom enabling her child. It was so stupid, and I really did not care for it. Especially after the mom, in the very next scene, ends up saying, you know what? I think we should get her out of this house. I was like, really? Also, the Egyptian lady scenes lasted so long, and they added to the runtime. Also, I don't feel like we got much of the girl, Katie. Lastly, there's a part in the movie where the youngest daughter gets possessed, and the next day, she has some scissors in her hand, and then the teacher comes by, and I was thinking, oh my god, she's about to cut her fingers off. But nah, nothing happens. So it was completely pointless. But anyway, those were some of my thoughts for today. I actually liked the movie a whole lot more than I thought I would. Really, the only thing I didn't care for was the runtime. It was very long and kind of unnecessary. And it really went into detail showing what these characters were doing. Anyway, I'd love to hear your opinions on this movie, whether you liked it or disliked it, or you're just kind of in the middle. Sound off in the comments. But till next time, peace.